Alright, welcome back. Episode 2. We're sitting in the van right now. I was gonna record outside, but there's a tram line and people walking by, and I've got the heebie-jeebies, which is what this episode is about, really. It's about the heebie-jeebies and setting the right preconditions, you know. There's a meditation instructor called Adyashanti who I listen to sometimes on the Waking Up app, which is like a meditation app, and he talks about like effortlessness and sort of making things easy, and that meditation shouldn't be this like concentrative, like clenching, like trying to be thoughtless or trying to be calm or trying to be something that kind of defeats the whole purpose, you know. Thought, generally speaking, is not meditation, because thought is already a kind of controlling. It's already trying to like make sense, make the world be a certain way. I'm figuring stuff out. It's not letting things be as they are. Instead, thought is trying to do something. It's trying to get somewhere. It's trying to change experience by coming up with concepts, you know. So thought is like an attempt to do something. It's a trying. And so we don't want to try to escape thought, because that's the same thing. It's like, it's a trying to escape trying. It's like clenching to escape clenching, you know, contracting to escape contracting, like mental contraction, you know. And so he sort of says, you know, we just need to set the stage for meditation. We need to set up the preconditions for meditation, and then it'll arrive or it won't, you know. And that's all we can do. That's all we can do. And I think I've just applied that to sort of, to making this video, which is the first video and the second recording. You know, I made the first one yesterday, and this morning, you know, I got up and I meditated pretty quickly. I didn't do my breathing, and I slept in a little bit, so it was all a bit crazy, and impulsively I kind of got a coffee. I haven't really been drinking coffee. I've only had 2 this year, because they give me the heebie-jeebies. They make me like too fast for my own good, and like nervous, and like almost like not paranoid, but a bit antisocial. Like I'm a bit too fast to like really see people and really like be cool and relaxed. And so I had a coffee and I went into the van, and I was like clicking around on the computer, like trying to figure out audio equalizer stuff, and like it got a bit out of hand. I was really just like avoiding doing the real job today, which was filming. And so, but I had the heebie-jeebies hardcore. I was in the van for like an hour. I felt terrible. I needed to go to the bathroom, but I didn't want to go outside. I was like, oh, there's people outside, you know. And then, yeah, these were the wrong preconditions. You know, I had to do something that I've never really done before, or at least I haven't done in a long time, which is film outdoors, film in public. I'm doing it alone, which before I would always do it with people, so there was a bit of security in that. But I was doing this new thing, and I needed courage. Like I needed to be inspired and to be really excited, and needed to have like creative sort of juices flowing. And instead I'd created different preconditions. You know, you can't make anything happen in the world. You know, you can't demand that reality go a certain way with a bit of A plus B equals C formula, you know. Maybe you can in chemistry, but I think even that's up for grabs, you know. That's why you hear like scientists saying, like, you know, journalists are always asking scientists like, so is chocolate healthy? And, you know, or like, so the findings said this, and then the scientist always says, like in the vaguest language possible, like, well, the science says that under certain conditions it's likely that, you know, this will sometimes or mostly eventuate in something like this, you know. They're always super vague, because, you know, the mechanistic sort of outlook on the world is sort of on the way out, and this other sort of probabilistic or preferential thing is on the way in, you know, paradigm is on the way in. But anyways, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Well, I am talking about that. But I'm talking about we can't force our world to be the way we want it to. I can't force my psychology to be the way that I want it to be. Yesterday I was really inspired. I watched some videos that were just like what I want to do, and I realized I was really empowered, and I was like, this guy, he's so interesting and he's doing things so simply and I can do that. And so I was really excited, and then this morning I was just not. I was paranoid and anxious and like freaked out. And so I couldn't just walk outside and film. It would have been I think it would have been a disaster. I would have been doing a bunch of takes and like all confused and self-doubting, and like I just think I would have had a really hard time. And so I thought, like, what is it that I can do? You know, what's like the middle ground? You know, what's something that I already do in public? Well, I run. You know, I run sometimes, and you know, it's that's a vulnerable. That's a little bit vulnerable. You know, like I'm running like down the street. I've got no shirt on. You know, it's a bit vulnerable for me. You know, and I've got these weird like shoes that I run in that like aren't real shoes. They're like kind of sandals, and they're really flat, and so they're pretty weird. And some people like look at them, so that's a bit vulnerable. You know, and you know, and I got to get sweaty and like gross, and like I'm going like like panting the whole way. You know. And so that's a bit vulnerable, but at the same time, I'm up for it. Like I'm ready for that, and I've done that before, and I know I can do that, and that like can set the stage for the next thing. And so I went out, I had a run, which was good too because it got the caffeine heebie-jeebies out, and like spent that energy, that like energy that I had in my head of like jumping from thought to thought. Spent that, came back to the van, had some water, had a bit of a stretch. Drove over here, quick wander around to see if I could film here or there. Couldn't really, it was too loud from the road, too loud from the tram. And so now we're in here, just letting rip on the first one about preconditions. I was thinking the same thing about just the preconditions for happiness, the preconditions for fulfillment, the preconditions for peace of mind. You know, I think it's all pretty clear to us that what it is that helps us be a better partner, that helps us study, that helps us, you know, whatever it is that we want to do, that helps us show up for our lives, you know, that helps us be more emotionally aware. It's not like these things are all mysterious to us. If we're thinking about these things even just a little bit, generally speaking, we'll have an idea. You know, it doesn't take long for the trial and error to sort of show up results. And once we get those results, I mean, it's not a recipe, but it's pretty close. You know, it's pretty close. And when a big day rolls around, when something new is happening, when you want to, you know, if you're seeing an old friend, if you're starting a new course, if you're starting a new job, you're going in for an interview, we need to, well, you know, it's advantageous to set those preconditions, you know, to have the breakfast that doesn't make you feel full or doesn't make you feel like too like stimulated from all the sugar or whatever. Have like that chill breakfast with vegetables in it, you know, whatever it is that works. You know, have a stretch, do something that helps you calm down, do something that helps you get energized, have those sort of balance each other out, like figure out the preconditions. Like if I don't do it anymore, but if I had beers last night and woke up hungover, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be making something for other people. I would just be in my own head. I'd be selfish brain. I'd just want to like eat fried chicken and, you know, just do easy stuff like watch YouTube videos or, I don't know. Like I just want to do easy stuff. And because like drinking is a precondition for selfishness. That's my experience, is that when I'm drinking and after I'm drinking, it's all about me. And in the same way, coffee is a precondition for like anxious, frantic thinking for me. Other people, it helps them focus on whatever, sure. But for me, I know that. And I think we all know these things about ourselves. I think it's important to like keep them in mind, and which I suppose is a really good sort of segue. How do we keep them in mind? Personally, I find that the pre-journaling helps a lot. Knowing what I'm going to do the next day, right? Knowing what I'm going to do first thing in the morning, my sort of order of operations. I think, okay, cool. If I'm going to run, swim, and meditate, well, I should have a bag that has my running gear in it, my swimming gear in it, and my meditation stool beside it, so I can wake up, stretch, run, like I can just go. The precondition of like rummaging around and finding a bunch of stuff and having to unpack something. Oh, where's my shoes? Oh, I can't find them. That is a precondition for flaking on stuff. If I have to faff heaps hard for 20 minutes to get out the door, 20 minutes of faffing is a precondition for flaking. It's a precondition for me going, oh, maybe actually I'll do this thing. That's more important. And then I'll do that. Making it easy for ourselves, making it easy for us to be the best that we can be. That's critical, and it can really save the day. It saved the day today. I made a mistake more or less with drinking the coffee, and then I saved the day by using up that energy, getting outdoors, running around, getting some sun, seeing other people, being out in public, being vulnerable in public, and then, just rip that Band-Aid off. But that sort of middle Band-Aid, this filming is the scary thing. This is what I'm scared of, is that people are going to walk by, look in the van, because they can look in that window, this window, and they can just see me and then go, oh, what the fuck? Oh no, what a moron. Or whatever. I don't know what people are going to say, but I guess I'm worried about that. And so this is the scary thing. Do something on the way to that. That helps. The stepping stones help. If you're afraid of the interview, call up your friend that you know and you like and that you're comfortable with and say, hey, ask me a bunch of questions. I got this interview coming up. Let's do a slightly easier version. You ask me a bunch of questions and I'll have a crack at it, and it'll demystify the whole process. Oh, nothing actually happens when I have to answer questions under pressure. Or nothing actually happens when I'm in public and I'm doing something a bit weird. Okay, cool. Like I'm a bit more relaxed. I'm not in my head anymore. I'm in the world. That kind of thing. So that'll about do it for today. Setting the preconditions for success. We know what they are, And it only takes a little bit of forethought to sort those out, to get clear on them, and then to let rip. Thanks very much. It's been Kind Regards the show, episode 2, Preconditions.